Hi, it's Saturday, I'm Natalie, and I have 3 stories to tell you in 4 minutes. My first story is about the theater competition I was at last weekend. Start at the award ceremony. This happened around 10 o'clock at night. So how they do this is they show the excellence up on a PowerPoint, and then they announce the superiors, and everything else you just find out later. They put up all our excellence of, the entire festival, and I wasn't up there, my group wasn't up there, and we were so excited, and we're like, we got a superior! And then they announced superiors, and we weren't there either. And we're all looking at each other, and then we kind of all just want to leave, and we're trying not to cry because we think we got it good or something. We have to wait for a long time to go through all the college scholarships and all that. When it's all over, we get on the bus and go back to the hotel to get our stuff and then get back on the bus so we can start looking at all of our ratings and all that. By the time we get to ratings and looking at all of our score sheets and everything, it's 11:30 at night, so it's been an hour and a half. They give you certificates for everyone with excellence and superiors. So the person on the bus in front of me is going through them, and I see my last name, and I see the word superior, and I see group acting, and then I see someone else in my group on the next one, and I just turn to Allison, who's sitting next to me, and I'm like, we got a superior, because she's in my group. And she's like, really? And we're like, yeah. And we just start crying, and I told the rest of our group, and we're sobbing. And I've said, I don't cry a lot, and I don't think I've ever cried of happiness, and I don't know if that was happiness or relief, but it was something. So we looked at our sheets, and we got a superior. I guess they just skipped us when they were calling names, and it was good, which made our total 29 superiors, which was 4 more than we got last year, so that was cool. And yeah, it was a good story. For an hour and a half, we thought we got it good, and we didn't. Stories number 2 and 3 have to do with Laura's question, have I ever been in a place where I shouldn't be? The first one happened between 5th and 8th grade for me. I was at my sister's swim meet, which is taking place at my current high school. There was another girl who was in my grade. We knew each other, and her sister was also swimming. And we decided to roam the school because we were bored. We ended up outside somehow, and we went into the football field. We didn't sneak in, we didn't climb any gates, but we just kind of went in. I don't think we were supposed to be in there, and it was at night. And we just were kind of running back and forth across the football field. And I was so nervous, I thought we were going to get in trouble, and every time a car would come, we would hit the ground. I don't think anything would have happened to us. We were young, and it wasn't like there was a lock on it or anything, we just went out there. But it felt like I wasn't supposed to be there, so. The second story was last year at LeakyCon, and some of you might remember this. I'd come out of a panel or something, and I couldn't find anybody, and finally when I did, it turned out that Laura and Becca were somewhere off outside of the hotel in another part of Chicago, and I can't remember where Laura or anyone was, and so I was all alone, and I didn't know what to do. And finally, I was so relieved when I found Shannon and her family eating lunch in the hotel restaurant. So I sat down next to them, and almost immediately they're like, all right, we're done, we gotta go. And I'm like, oh, where are you going? And they were going to a signing for Leaky Lit, which I didn't have a pass for. So I'm like, well, I don't want to be alone, I'm just gonna wait in line with you, because that'll give me something to do for a while. It's John Green and Maureen Johnson, by the way, and someone else who I can't remember right now. But anyway, so we're in line, and I keep walking, and we're getting up to the door, and there's no one checking badges, and I'm like, I guess I'll just keep going with you, I don't want to be by myself again. So we're in the room, and it's a really small room. I can see them as soon as I walk into the room. And I didn't want to get out of line, because that was super awkward. What do I do? So I'm like, I guess I'll just go up and get my book signed and meet them. And then I met them, and it was cool. And I got out, and I was like, what did I just do? That was my story about places I shouldn't be. Becca and Heather can keep this question because I think it's fun.